Are you tired of overthinking, waiting for the perfect plan, or constantly chasing after some ideal version of success? Well, here's the truth. All that gets you is stuck, frustrated, and drained. But what if there was a way to break free from that cycle and actually get results in your life, not just dream about them? That's where pragmatism comes in. It's not about perfect solutions, lofty theories, or abstract ideas. It's about taking action, making decisions that work right now, and cutting through the noise to focus on what really matters. In this video, we're diving deep into the principles of pragmatism and showing you how this mindset can radically transform your approach to everyday challenges. We're going to unpack how this simple yet powerful philosophy can help you make smarter decisions, improve your relationships, and yes, build a better life. Don't just keep going through the motions. Stick around and discover how you can live a life that actually works for you. This isn't just another motivational speech. This is a blueprint for lasting change. So, keep watching. You're about to see how pragmatism can unlock your potential in ways you never imagined. Number 1, the fail fast, succeed sooner. Philosoph, you know what they say, fail fast, fail hard. But what if I told you that failing could actually be the fastest way to succeed? Sounds counterintuitive, right? But trust me on this. It's one of the most powerful philosophies you can adopt to push yourself forward in life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, aren't we supposed to avoid failure at all costs? Well, here's the twist. Failing fast means you're learning faster. You're cutting through all the unnecessary fluff, getting straight to what works, and more importantly, what doesn't. We've all been there, stuck in a project, in a relationship, or maybe just in life, trying to make something work when it's clear as day that it's not going anywhere. The thing is, we get attached. We invest time, energy, and sometimes even our self-worth into something because we think, if I just push a little harder, it'll click. But here's the reality check. Sometimes, the faster you admit it's not working, the sooner you can redirect your focus to something that actually will. So let's flip the script on this failure thing. Instead of seeing it as the end of the road, think of it as a pit stop. Fail fast, and you're giving yourself permission to evolve, to learn, and to grow without wasting time. It's about making calculated decisions, not about blindly hoping things will magically get better. And while it might sound harsh or even reckless, I promise you, it's liberating. Why? Because once you learn to embrace failure as a stepping stone, you unlock the power to succeed so much quicker. You'll know exactly what doesn't work, which means you can focus on what does. Let me give you a real-world example. A few years ago, I started a side business. I had all the enthusiasm, the spreadsheets, and the motivation to make it work. But guess what? 6 months in, I realized the market wasn't quite ready for what I was offering. Did I double down, hoping for a miracle? I pulled the plug, fast. People thought I was giving up too soon, but in reality, I was setting myself up for something better. I didn't waste another year on something that wasn't going to happen. That decision opened up new opportunities that I never could have seen if I kept holding on to a sinking ship. And this isn't just about business. It's about your life, your decisions, your relationships. Imagine not having to endlessly overanalyze a job offer, a potential move, or even a friendship that just doesn't feel right anymore. The moment you spot something that's not going to work, you cut it loose. It's about reclaiming your time, your energy, your mental peace. This is about recognizing that you deserve better, faster, and more aligned with your goals. So what does that look like in practice? It looks like being bold enough to step away from what's not serving you. It looks like trusting your instincts and not needing to justify every move to others. It's about making the hard decision now so you can move toward the next thing and the next thing is where you'll succeed. The faster you embrace that failure is just part of the process. The sooner you'll be looking back at all those failures with a smile, knowing they were just stepping stones to your success. In the end, you're not just building your career or your life, you're building your resilience, your capacity to adapt, and your unshakable belief in your own ability to bounce back stronger. Fail fast, succeed sooner. It's about taking control of your journey and moving forward without the fear of falling behind. Because at the end of the day, your success is waiting on the other side of your willingness to let go, learn, and pivot when necessary. Now go ahead, embrace failure, and watch how quickly success follows. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are all waiting for you on the other side. Number 2, radical self-interest. What if I told you that being a little selfish could actually change your life for the better? Now, before you start rolling your eyes or thinking I'm advocating for full-on narcissism, hear me out. Radical self-interest isn't about ignoring others or being mean. It's about recognizing that your goals, your peace, and your happiness matter. Yes, trust me on this. Your happiness doesn't need to take a back seat to everyone else's. You know the type. The person who's always saying yes to everything, taking on tasks that aren't theirs, and running on empty because they just can't say no. We've all been there. You probably know the feeling of overcommitting, running yourself ragged and ending up frustrated, burnt out, or worse, resentful of the people who keep asking for more of your time and energy. But here's the thing. When you constantly put others first, you're teaching them that your needs don't matter as much as theirs. And you're teaching yourself that your happiness is negotiable. Let me tell you, it's time to flip that script. So, here's where radical self-interest comes in. It's not about being rude or inconsiderate, but about making decisions that serve you without guilt. Imagine being able to say no to things that don't align with your goals, and yes to things that fuel your growth. Think of it like an emotional self-defense mechanism. You have to protect your energy and time, because the more you give it away, the less you have to give back to yourself. The truth is, when you prioritize your own well-being, you're better equipped to show up for others in a way that truly matters. Let me share a story to bring this to life. A few months ago, I found myself in a situation where I was constantly helping a friend with their personal problems, listening to the same issues over and over again. I wanted to be there for them, of course, but it started taking a toll on my own mental health. I was drained. One day, I realized something. I was being selfish, not in a bad way, but in a necessary way. So, I decided to have an honest conversation. I gently set boundaries, told them I needed some time for myself, and suggested ways they could get support elsewhere. At first, it was awkward. They didn't take it well. But guess what? That conversation lifted a huge weight off my shoulders, and within weeks, I felt more energized, more focused, and able to help others from a place of abundance. It wasn't about abandoning my friend. It was about saving enough of myself to show up better in every area of my life. This is about more than just saying no to people. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with the same level of respect, care, and consideration that you give to others. It's about building a life where you're not just surviving, but thriving. This doesn't mean becoming selfish or self-centered. It's about practicing self-respect and self-care in a way that doesn't diminish anyone else. You're allowed to put yourself first without feeling guilty for doing so. It's a muscle, and the more you practice, the stronger it gets. And here's the best part. By embracing radical self-interest, you'll start noticing how much more peace you have in your life. You'll stop over-explaining your decisions or justifying your time away from others. You'll stop backing down from what you want to make room for what everyone else needs. It's a game changer. It's about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. You get to decide where your time goes and where your energy flows. And trust me, once you start embracing this, it's like a weight lifts off your shoulders. You'll find yourself feeling stronger, more in control, and more aligned with your true self. So, here's the takeaway. Don't be afraid to be a little selfish, radically so. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are yours to protect. And by doing so, you'll find that you can give even more to the world around you. Prioritize yourself and watch how everything else starts falling into place. Number 3, the brutal yes or no rule. What if I told you that making decisions could be as simple as saying just 2 words, yes or no? No overthinking, no second guessing, no wasting time on the maybe or I'll get back to you. Yes, trust me on this. Embracing the brutal yes or no rule could free up more energy than you ever thought possible. Now I know what you're probably thinking, but isn't that too harsh? Or, what if I'm making the wrong choice? Hear me out. We've all been there, faced with an endless list of decisions that feel heavy, complicated, and at times downright exhausting. Maybe it's a job offer, a commitment to a friend, or even something as simple as whether or not to attend an event. You know the type, the constant internal debate. Should I? Shouldn't I? It feels like you're trapped in a loop of indecision. But here's the thing. Indecision costs you energy. It slows you down, wastes your time, and leaves you mentally drained. That's where the yes or no rule comes in. It's like a cheat code for decision-making. The idea is simple but powerful. When faced with a decision, ask yourself one question. Is this a hell yes, or is it a no? Anything that falls into the maybe category, anything that makes you hesitate, should automatically be a no. It sounds harsh, I know, but there's a reason this works. You see, when you don't make a clear decision, you're essentially giving away your power. You're prolonging uncertainty, and that keeps you stuck. The moment you say yes or no, you're taking control. You're removing all the gray areas that slow you down. No more wasting time on anything that doesn't light you up. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Let me give you an example. A few months ago, I had a friend ask me to join a big social event they were hosting. The moment I heard about it, I felt the immediate hesitation. It wasn't that I didn't like them. I did. But I wasn't really excited about the event. It didn't align with where I was in my life at that moment, and I knew it would drain me. In the past, I would have tried to come up with a polite excuse or over-explained myself. But this time I thought, is this a hell yes or a no? It was a no. And you know what? Saying no felt liberating. I didn't need to explain. I didn't need to apologize. I just said no, and I reclaimed my time. It's like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Now, I get it. This rule isn't about being rude or dismissive of others. It's about protecting your time and energy. You don't need to justify your decisions to anyone, especially if it doesn't serve your goals or well-being. Imagine how much mental space you'll free up by applying this rule. No more playing mental tug-of-war with every decision. This isn't just about saying no to others. It's about saying yes to yourself. You're telling yourself that your time, your energy, and your focus matter more than any obligation or social pressure. Think about it. When you embrace the brutal yes or no rule, you're shifting into a higher level of self-respect. You're making choices that align with your values, your purpose, and your goals. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. You're no longer playing small or compromising just to avoid conflict. You're standing firm in your own needs, which is the ultimate form of self-care. So, here's the takeaway. The next time you face a decision, ask yourself, is this a hell yes or a no? If it's not an immediate, enthusiastic yes, don't waste another second. Say no. Protect your time and energy. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are worth it. By making decisions with this brutal clarity, you'll find that life gets simpler, faster, and far more fulfilling. Trust me, the power of yes or no is a game changer. Number 4, success by elimination. What if I told you that the secret to success isn't about doing more, but about doing less? Yes, trust me on this. Success by elimination isn't some abstract concept or fancy productivity hack. It's a simple, powerful strategy that could totally change the way you approach your goals. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Isn't success all about hustling, pushing through obstacles and taking on more challenges? Well, yes and no. It's also about cutting away everything that's holding you back. It's about clearing out the noise and focusing on what truly matters. We've all been there, the endless to-do lists, the constant pressure to be everywhere, do everything and be everything to everyone. You know the type. The person who's juggling multiple projects, constantly busy but never really moving forward. I've been guilty of it myself. We're so focused on doing more that we forget the power of doing less. But here's the thing, when you're trying to do everything, you end up spreading yourself thin, exhausting your energy, and getting nowhere. The trick to real success isn't in piling on more tasks. It's in eliminating the distractions and focusing on the few things that really matter. So, how does this work in practice? It's simple. Success by elimination means cutting out the unnecessary. Start by asking yourself what activities, people, or habits are draining your energy and taking up your time without bringing value. Do you really need to attend every meeting? Do you need to respond to every email as soon as it hits your inbox? What if you said no to a few things and yes to only the most important? That's where the magic happens. The less you have on your plate, the more you can put into the things that move you closer to your goals. It's about creating space in your life for focus, clarity, and impact. The less clutter, the more you can achieve. Let me give you an example. A few months ago, I found myself completely overwhelmed at work. I was running from one task to the next, always feeling like I was falling behind. And then I realized something. Most of the tasks I was doing were either unimportant or someone else's responsibility. I was drowning in busy work. So I took a step back and made a list of everything I was doing. I asked myself, what can I eliminate? What followed was eye-opening. I stopped attending unnecessary meetings, cut back on the time I spent checking emails, and started delegating more tasks to others. Within a week, I felt lighter, more focused, and actually more productive. The few tasks I kept on my plate became the ones that truly mattered, and I made real progress. Success didn't come from doing more. It came from eliminating the distractions and focusing on what moved the needle. This is about more than just productivity. Success by elimination is also about protecting your mental and emotional space. It's about saying no to things that drain you and yes to the things that bring you joy, growth, and peace. It's about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. By focusing on fewer things, you open up room for clarity and purpose. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start putting your time and effort where it counts. So, here's the takeaway. The key to success isn't always about adding more, it's about eliminating the unnecessary. It's about making space for what truly matters and letting go of everything that's holding you back. Your time, your energy, and your focus are valuable. Success by elimination isn't just a strategy, it's a mindset. When you start saying no to the distractions and yes to your priorities, you'll find that success becomes much simpler, more rewarding, and within your reach. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are worth protecting. Start eliminating and watch your success soar. Number 5. The minimum input, maximum output. Hack. What if I told you that the key to achieving more isn't about working harder, but about working smarter? Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh, here we go, another productivity hack, just hear me out. The minimum input, maximum output hack isn't some fluffy buzzword. It's a game changer. Trust me, once you understand how to implement it, you'll wonder why you didn't start sooner. It's not about doing more, it's about doing less, but with more impact. Yes, really. Think about it. How many times have you worked yourself to the bone, spent hours on a task, only to realize that your effort didn't really make a dent in your results? You know the type, those long nights where you're checking off every little task on your to-do list, yet somehow the big goals feel just as distant as when you started. It's exhausting, right? We've all been there. The truth is, we often mistake busyness for productivity. We think that if we're not constantly moving, we're falling behind. But here's the secret. Sometimes, less really is more. And that's where the minimum input, maximum output hack comes in. So, how does it work? Simple. You focus on the tasks that actually move the needle and eliminate everything else that's just draining your time. It's about maximizing your effort by making the smallest possible input and achieving the highest possible output. Instead of spreading yourself thin across dozens of small tasks, you pour your energy into the things that really matter. This isn't about cutting corners, it's about being strategic with your time and energy. You're essentially looking for the low-hanging fruit that will give you the biggest return, rather than wasting time on tasks that don't move you closer to your goals. Let me give you a real-life example. A while ago, I was working on a major project, and I felt completely overwhelmed by all the things I needed to do. There were a million details to handle, emails to answer, meetings to attend, documents to edit. The list went on. But then I decided to apply the minimum input, maximum output strategy. I stopped focusing on all the little tasks that didn't really matter and zoomed in on the one thing that would make the biggest impact, getting a key decision maker to approve my project. I skipped a couple of less important meetings and didn't stress about the smaller tasks. And guess what? That one decision pushed the project forward faster than I had imagined. By focusing on the key action, I maximized my output with minimal effort. It was a total game changer. This strategy isn't just about getting more done, it's about protecting your mental and emotional space. It's about reclaiming your peace and dignity. Think about all those hours you've wasted doing things just for the sake of being busy. The minimum input, maximum output approach helps you break free from that hamster wheel and focus on what truly matters. It empowers you to say no to distractions and yes to the activities that align with your goals. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being intentional with your time and energy. So, here's your takeaway. Stop overloading yourself with endless tasks and start thinking strategically about where you're investing your energy. Focus on the high-impact actions and eliminate the rest. The key to success isn't in doing everything, it's in doing the right things. Your time is valuable, and by practicing the minimum input, maximum output hack, you'll not only work smarter, but also feel more fulfilled and in control of your life. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are worth it. So let go of the noise, focus on what matters, and watch your results soar. Number 6, emotionally intelligent selfishness. What if I told you that being selfish isn't always a bad thing? I know. It probably sounds a little shocking. We're taught from a young age that selfishness is the ultimate villain in the story of human interactions. But here's the twist. Emotionally intelligent selfishness isn't about putting others down, it's about putting yourself first in a way that benefits everyone. Now, before you start thinking I'm promoting some toxic me-first attitude, just hear me out. Emotionally intelligent selfishness isn't about ignoring the needs of others. It's about understanding when to prioritize your own emotional well-being so you can show up as your best self for everyone around you. You know the type. You're constantly the one saying yes to every favor, every request, and every obligation. even when it's draining you. We've all been there, right? The people-pleasing, overcommitting, burning the candle at both ends routine. It feels like you're doing everything you can to support everyone else, but somehow you're left feeling empty, exhausted, and maybe a little resentful. Sound familiar? It's a cycle many of us fall into, and it's often because we think that putting others first is the only way to be seen as kind, loving, or valuable. But here's the catch. If you're constantly giving from an empty cup, you're not helping anyone, not even yourself. So, what does emotionally intelligent selfishness look like in action? It's about knowing when to say no to others so you can say yes to your own needs. It's about recognizing that your emotional energy is finite, and if you don't protect it, you won't be able to give your best to the people you care about. I know this might sound a little harsh, but hear me out. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for others is to take a step back and take care of yourself first. When you nurture your own well-being, you're more present, more focused, and more able to show up for others in a meaningful way. It's like that oxygen mask analogy on airplanes. You've got to put yours on first before you can help anyone else. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, I was juggling a million things: work, personal commitments, social events, and I found myself burning out. I had friends asking me for favors, co-workers needing last-minute help, and family members calling on me to be the problem solver. I was stretched thin and starting to feel resentful, like no one was respecting my time or energy. Then I had an epiphany. I realized I needed to put myself first, even if it meant disappointing people. So I started saying no more often, and guess what? The world didn't end. In fact, I felt more energized, more present, and even more connected to the people I was helping, because I was coming from a place of abundance, not depletion. That emotionally intelligent selfishness allowed me to show up as my best self, which ultimately benefited everyone around me. This is about reclaiming your space, your peace, and your dignity. It's about respecting your emotional needs and setting healthy boundaries, not because you don't care about others, but because you care enough to show up for them when it matters. It's easy to slip into the habit of over-explaining or apologizing for taking time for yourself, but you don't need to justify your emotional needs. You're allowed to prioritize your well-being without guilt, and you'll be amazed at how much more you can give when you do. Here's your takeaway. Emotional intelligence isn't just about understanding others. It's also about understanding yourself. By practicing emotionally intelligent selfishness, you're not just protecting your peace, you're enhancing your ability to connect with others on a deeper level. So give yourself permission to say no when you need to. Reclaim your time, your energy, and your emotional health. When you do that, you're not just doing yourself a favor, you're doing everyone a favor. Your space, your peace, and your dignity are worth it. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope this video gave you some valuable insights into how pragmatism can help shape a better, more practical life. If you found it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Your support means a lot. And if you want to keep exploring more content like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Feel free to share this video with someone who could benefit from a fresh perspective on living a more effective life. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know how you've used pragmatism in your own life, or how you plan to start. Let's build a community of like-minded people who are ready to take charge and make things happen. Remember, the power to change your life is in your hands. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Make the most of right now. Until next time, keep taking action and living pragmatically. You've got this.